Yep, we are live. Hey guys, how are you doing? Oh,
Hey
yeah, a
everyone.
couple of people joining in. Just type in the name of the school or college you're from and just see if your friends from the same college are there. Just type it in the comments. Which college are you guys from or school? IIT Kharagpur. Okay, cool. And which year? Even that'll be cool. NIT Warangal, Christ. IIT Delhi. Sri Chaitanya Hyderabad. NSIT. MAMIs. Bad College of Engineering. Okay, that's a nice name. Jabalpur Engineer College, Amrita. Dude, that's so many colleges. Carnegie Mellon, IIT Bombay, St. Joseph's, Grade 8. Okay. Delhi University, Sri Chaitanya, BITS Goa. Okay. IIT Bombay, CSE. I'm pretty sure that guy is lying because most of them just study most of the way. Christ Academy. There are a lot of Christs, right? There's one in Bangalore, there's one in Pune. There's one close to Pune also.
There's multiple. I think there's two or three in Bangalore. So
Yeah. Cool. So I guess majority of our audience is from college, different colleges,
yeah,
and I guess we can just keep the talk around it. By the way, just a quick introduction about Shreyans. Shreyans and I, both of us study at BITS Goa. He's my neighbor. He lives like a couple of blocks away from me, and he's really into finance. We've been working on a bunch of projects since first year of college. Different freelancing projects. We worked on Hulock, which was a SaaS startup on chatbots. And right now we are working on Clinify together. So Shreyans, just give a quick introduction, maybe about the internships that you did and what kind of things you're interested in.
sure. So hey everyone. So as Harish said, I live three doors away from him in the hostel, and during the first time we met, we he introduced himself as someone who likes to build companies and someone who's an entrepreneur guy. And so I went up to him and I'm just like, hey, maybe we can do something together. I know a little bit of content writing at that time. I knew. And after that, he comes to my door and he's like, I have a project. Are you in? And I said, sure. And this was just a couple of months after meeting each other. And that's how we got started. After that, we worked on QLog and stuff. Now, coming to the things which I've done, I'm interested in stock market and finance. Um, I've interned in Groww, which is a stockbroking company, and I was an intern research consultant at World Quant. But then I realized that that's not really what I like. Quant is not, the type of finance I want to pursue. I also interned for Aditya Birla in the electrical department, Groww Industries. So I've, been around a couple of things, but here we're just gonna mostly talk about Clinify, colleges. We're gonna mostly, have a Q&A session. We'll be taking questions from you guys about freelancing, all of these things, about some new upcoming exciting things that we're gonna launch. And yeah, that's it. Just casual, I guess.
Yeah, like let's talk about the projects that people do in college. I feel like a lot of people ask me what's the right way of doing projects. I need to find. I find it really difficult to find like-minded people with whom I can work. What do you think about that? How do you like? We've built a couple of teams inside college. Like we went to our friends and asked them to build some stuff for us. What do you think about that?
I
How
think
do we actually build a project inside
having
college?
projects is really important, right? Because learning something and then applying what you have learned into a project and building something, or using that knowledge is the most important part. Because when you sit for placements or when you go into the real world, people can ask proof. How did you're saying that you learned this skill, but how can I believe you, right? And having a project can really boost that. So I think it's really essential. And finding the right people is also very tricky. It's difficult to somehow find the right people, but you need to go out and explore. Not just on Clinify. Go to your college, talk to seniors, talk to your roommates or your hostel mates, your wing mates. talk about different things you guys like to do, talk about what you want to do in life, and if you guys find the same vision, if you guys share the same drive, then start talking, discussing detailed ideas or projects and start working on them. So
Yeah. And how do you think Clinify could contribute to that? Because we have built a digital version of college inside our Discord server itself.
yeah, I think Plenify's Discord server could really help. Just check it out. I think the link is in the edit or the bio section of the video, and join that. There's around like 18-19,000 students there. And the thing is, there's a lot of different subgroups, right? So if you want to learn, or if you want a guy to help you with, let's say, digital marketing, click on the server that says digital marketing and just drop your question, and people will reply to it, right? And
Yeah.
that's how you can meet more people and stuff.
And it's also a good way of finding opportunities. So there's something called jobs and internships where people keep posting different opportunities. A couple of days back, there's something called Digital Impact Square. It's run by Tata. And these guys reached out and they were like, dude, you're running a good community. There are pretty smart people over there. We want to hire some full stack developers. I think 5 of them. And then they put on Clinify and they were able to hire a couple of people. And then, we launched something called Clinify Jobs, where we were able to get like 100 people applied to different jobs. So if you're someone looking for internships, or if you're someone looking for jobs, or if you just want to collaborate with different people, then check out the jobs and internship section on our Discord. Another thing that happened was few Clinify members, they started a startup called Criada or something. And
Creator.
that was, yeah, Creda. Want to talk about that? I think they met on
Sure.
this server and they were like, they have complementary skills, so let's start up the school.
Yeah, and you can check out the website. It's a really cool startup building AI-based chatbots, and it's really cool. And so that sort of, it sort of blossomed into that startup through the people meeting each other on the Clinify servers and on the groups and just talking, discussing ideas. And they realized that two of them or three of them had the same idea, the same vision. And so they said, hey, let's get together and do something that will make an impact.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's all there. So we'll start taking a couple of questions or
Sure. So Yash Gupta is asking, what are the finance domains we can explore as a fresher? I
okay,
think
so
as a
as a
newbie.
first year, sure. So there's a lot. There's first of all, there's a stock market, right? Now, in the stock market, do you want to be a long-term investor or medium short-term investor, or do you want to be a straight-up day trader, right? So you have to just explore. Do you like investing? Do you like trading? Do you like to do research about companies to see what they'll do in the future, how well they'll do in the future? So that's one. Second would be the quantitative side. Now, the quantitative side is more math focused. It's building algorithms to, algorithmic trading, all that, to have models that could, enhance your trading or investing capabilities. So these are the two main finance domains. Now, of course, there's hundreds more. There could be, loans, mortgages. Finance is just huge, right? I'm sticking more to the stock market side, but that's what I would say.
Hmm. What about, people who want to get into companies like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan?
Yeah.
What's the ideal learning path for them?
So a lot of these companies come to engineering colleges, but they hire the technical roles, right? They want to hire software developers. So for that, obviously, you'll have to be good at coding or competitive coding to be more specific, and you'll have to have a good resume. But if you want to work in the finance part of such companies, you'll have to have a lot of good projects. You'll have to have knowledge, courses. It is difficult. They're the top, investment banks.
Yeah, no course can guarantee anything. So are there any competitions related to finance? Do you want to talk about some competitions? Maybe the paper trading ones on Dalal
Yeah,
Street.
there's this website called DSIJ. They have monthly competitions. It's all paper trading, all fake trading. They give you 10 lakhs of fake money, but you can invest them in real stocks and see how your portfolio is doing in real time. And then you can compare that with other people around India or around the globe, wherever they are. And that was really cool. That's where I practiced a lot in the beginning before starting. I used to do research about companies and think that, oh, this company is earnings will be great. Why not, try putting some money in, then, and of course all the paper trading, fake virtual money, and I'd put some, and then I'd write it down, the reason why I wrote it down. So having journal or a diary is really important to make sure you'd keep track of all your trades, keep track of what you do and your ideas. So that's one competition.
Okay. So few people asking about. Oh, by the way, even companies like Morgan Stanley, they organize a lot of these competitions, right, for hiring. Uh,
Yeah,
I remember they organize a bunch of hackathons throughout the
yeah,
year. A lot of these investment firms where you can just participate. And trust me, by participating in these hackathons, you can meet a lot of these executives working at these companies. So
yeah.
later on, if you want to get hired, then it'll be much easier for you because you already have a contact in one of these companies and you're not a total stranger. So it's always better to get associated with big companies and meet a lot of new people. So that way, you can just build a huge network, which will be useful for your career prospects.
Exactly. I think networking and connections are everything.
What about
Uh,
internships in finance? You can talk about yours, maybe.
So yeah, so getting internship in finance domain is a little bit difficult, right? What I did was just cold emailed a bunch of people until it worked, and so I would say just do that. Cold email, reach out, like Harish said, make connections, go onto LinkedIn, and just send people emails. I've done this course, I have the certificate, I do this, I do this, I do this, and I would be a great asset to your company. I think I could help you guys out as well as learn a lot myself. So you send us, cold email, something like that, and you tell them about your strengths, what you hope to achieve through this internship, and wait for their reply back. Most of the times there will not be any reply back, right? So don't get demotivated, don't like get dejected. It'll happen.
Yeah. And someone was asking about different courses in finance. I guess we can discuss about the different learning paths towards finance.
Yeah, not just
Recorded
finance. I think,
ones.
yeah, not just
Yeah,
finance,
in
like
general.
everything in general. I think courses are important, right? Because they help you learn a lot through different means, right? And maybe work on projects, enhance your skills, meet new people. And what we think, Harish and I think, is that currently the courses what you get are on Udemy or Coursera, right? Getting courses on YouTube is very difficult because there's a lot of messy. One video is good here, one video is good there, and it's impossible to find and combine them all. So we end up usually going for the courses on Udemy or Coursera. And the issue with this is that they're pre-recorded, right? Pre-recorded sometimes can get boring. Um, Sometimes you lose the motivation to do to finish it. I started on coding course on Python, data structures and algorithms, and after the first week it was fine, it was easy, but then after that I just started getting boring, and I'm just like, why? I don't have motivation to do this, right? I just couldn't complete it, and it's still till this date it's left on week 2 completed, and after that I haven't done it. So I feel like this is the case with a lot of students. I feel, Harish, you also have done this, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are different types of people who prefer different types of learning methods. For a lot of people, YouTube works, but I've heard like 90% of people saying ad aa jata hai beech mein, you have a lot of distractions, there's no streamlined content, plus you don't have, you don't learn with your friends. So, but for some people it works, which is great. So a lot of people offer for courses like Udemy and Coursera, which are pre-recorded courses, but they're organized. So you know what's next and you can sort of streamline that. And people prefer Udemy and Coursera courses as well. So even I've bought like I think 30 Udemy courses until now, but it works for a lot of people. But then there are people who don't like that as well because it's pre-recorded and it's kind of hard to stay motivated enough to finish those courses. I have so many courses which I haven't even started, and recently there was a Twitter thread which said that the average rate of completion for a Udemy course is 4%. And that's because it's a pre-recorded course and it's you can watch it anytime, and that's what makes you lazy. So if there's a web development course which you can finish in a month, it might take you 6 months because in your brain you're like, acha main kabhi bhi kar lunga isko, and then you just keep procrastinating and just goes on. Then there's this new concept which a lot of people are adopting. Even Avalon adopted. There's something called OutSchool. These companies are adopting. Even Clinify is planning to adopt a similar model, which is called cohort-based courses. And cohort-based courses are where you have a live instructor teaching, like on a Zoom class, and you can interact with them directly. So you can unmute, ask questions, do things like that, and you can interact with your peers. So you can talk to your friends who are learning with you. And I think that creates a very cohesive environment to learn. It's like sitting in a school classroom, learning from your teacher, asking doubts and getting your doubts clarified, and also having your friends around. So the motivation level in that sort of class is way, way higher.
Exactly.
So I guess because that's the reason why colleges exist, right? Like a professor teaching in a lecture room with students around, you can talk to your friends, you can ask your friends questions, you can do group assignments, you can work on real world projects together, and that learning environment is very powerful compared to just watching a Udemy course on your laptop.
Exactly. We can pin some other comment. I think someone asked how to get a mentor is
Mhm.
necessary. I
Okay.
think getting the right mentor is really important. It can completely change things for you, right? You could be going in one direction, thinking it's the right direction, but then a mentor will come and say, "Hey, I've already been down that direction. It's a dead end. It's not going to work. Try this direction. I found success here," right? And that would save so much of your time. Who knows? Maybe you love this. You If you had continued on this bad path, you would have got demotivated and gave up or tried something else, right? So I would say getting a mentor is essential. Now, how to get a mentor? It's obviously a lot difficult, right? So what you could do is, so coming back to the cohort-based classes, what we were talking about, most of these cohort-based classes are all live, right? All of them are live. So that means if I'm a teacher, I'll be teaching to you through a platform like this in real time. And obviously you'll have contact information, you'll be able to contact the instructor of the course. And so that guy or that girl suddenly becomes your mentor, right? If you have a quick doubt about even a silly doubt, you can quickly ask him or her to help you out or to guide you. So I think that's a really cool way to get a mentor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just text people on LinkedIn, get to know people, ask questions. I'm thinking of doing this. Do you think I should start with this or this? And more often than not, people will say, try this or I'll help you out.
Also, if you want Shreyans as your mentor, and if you want to just see how cohort based classes feel, then I've pinned a comment. You can click on the course, and there's a free demo class. You can join in, see how things are going to work out, and then just join in if you want, if you're really interested in it.
Yeah,
How is CA Rachna's course? I don't think anyone of us has taken it.
I haven't taken it. Yeah. Do we need a lot of money for startups? We could talk about that. So, neither Harish or I have put in too much money. First, we started Hulock. Of course, you do need something. You need money to host your website, for you to buy the domain. All of those costs will come, but it's nothing too much, nothing way too much, right? You don't need like $100,000 to start a startup. That's not needed unless you're going for a very capital intensive. Unless your startup is to build electric scooters, right? Then you'll need money. But if you're thinking of doing something in the tech domain, some sort of tech product, tech related startup, I would say initial starting cost is very low. It could be even zero at times. If you have a pre-bought domain, you could just host it on free services. The thing is, we used a lot of the resources that we got, uh, like the Git student
GitHub
starter
Student
pack.
Starter Bank.
Exactly. It was really good. They have so much, they've given us access to so many different things at free or discounted prices. And there's so many other resources that you can use if you're, an entrepreneur who wants to start up, right? Money is never the option, and nor it's you shouldn't go after money to build a startup, right? You should always work on your product first and then worry about money later.
Yeah. Like Brian Chesky, the founder of Airbnb,
Yeah,
they were just living in shit. They were living in terrible conditions for the first few years of founding Airbnb. So,
exactly.
yeah, you don't really need a lot of money to start up. But yeah, if it's something in the manufacturing field and all, that's an
Yeah, then
entirely
it's
new
different.
story.
Yeah.
But most software startups, tech focused startups don't require a lot of money. Also, you can try joining accelerators and incubators. Like we were selected at Nexus ACIR, which is run by the US Embassy, and they gave us like $100,000 in AWS credits. So that
Not,
just gives us a
not just
runway of,
AWS, not just
yeah.
AWS. We got Google Firebase, Google Cloud, AWS, and a lot of other things. So we got a lot of credits, right, for different things that boosted us. and let us do a lot of things. So do that. Apply for grants, for scholarships. Apply for all these incubators if you have, prototype or a MVP or an early stage startup accelerator.
Hmm.
So what are some teaching opportunities to earn money in college?
I don't. So few colleges have this thing called teaching assistants. I think even BITS says, how much do they pay? 5K per month?
5 or 7K, not per month, per semester.
Oh, per semester. Okay, it's
Uh,
not a lot,
that's
but
that's better
for
for
the
your resume. I think
experience.
I think he meant like outside, like Chegg or something like that. You could
Um,
teaching opportunities. Yeah, so you could teach at a third party place like Chegg, where you can help students with their homework in whatever field that you like and make some money. But it's a little time consuming. You have to spend a couple of hours to get one question or something. So just check out. There are a couple of other things.
what are some finance domains where people earn more than 40, 50 lakhs per month? um,
To be very honest, I'm going to deviate from the question a little bit.
yeah,
Being it doesn't matter which field or which domain you are, right? In every single field or domain, there's going to be someone who's making millions, right? Just think of anything. YouTube, there's all these YouTubers. Finance, all the best traders in the world or the best investment banks, right? You take any field you can think of. It could be even a home designer or a water manufacturer. In fact, there's a one of, I think, China's newest billionaires is water manufacturer, right? So it doesn't matter which field you are going into, but whatever it is, just try to do something you love so that you can continuously excel and work hard at it and try to be in the top, right? Because whatever it is, you can earn a lot of money if you're doing the best, if you're the best
yeah.
doing something. So now coming back to the question, what are the finance domains? Um, See, starting off with 40 or 50 lakhs per month is going to be per month or per year.
It's just per month. I think
50
he meant
lakhs
a
per
year.
month. I think you probably meant per year, but if you want 50 lakhs per month, then I don't know, you'll have to become like CEO or some executive of a company or something like that. But if you want 40 to 50 lakhs per year, realistically, you probably wouldn't start off with that much, right? You'll probably start off with much lower. You'll have to work hard. You'll have to climb the way up. And some domains would be investment banking. That's always great. Trading, that's always, it's very risky, but those professional traders at top companies, they earn a lot, right? They take 10-15% of how much they make profits. Quantitative finance is also huge. If you can become a really good, if you are interested in math and building models and algorithms, then check out quant. Firms pay a lot for quantitative. So yeah, those are the top 2 or 3 domains.
Yep. And you said something. You said that you should be focused on the long term. Like you should be ready to dedicate like 10 years of your life in one particular field if you really want to make it. And I think that's where most people get it wrong. They're like, "Hey, let's make some quick cash," and
Yeah.
then yeah,
Quick cash doesn't, it doesn't exist. I would say quick cash doesn't exist, right? Even the people who bought Bitcoin, who are now Bitcoin millionaires, right? They waited for 10 years.
exactly,
Most of
yeah,
the people who bought Bitcoin now had it in 2010, 11 at like $1, $0.001, whatever. And they waited, and now they've become millionaires, right? So getting money overnight, I don't think is real. It's just a scam. Of course, there's lottery if you're interested. There's everything's luck based, but hard work is the only way to earn high
yeah.
money.
And also another thing, do not start investing if you don't have any financial knowledge. Like, don't just be like, "Acha, मैं Reliance खरीदूंगा because CNBC में it's going up." That's not how it works. So yeah, do click on the pinned link, sign up for Shreyans's demo class, and you can maybe see how those things work.
Yeah, someone asked, what about GameStop? And before that, I think Faze asked uh, another question related to startup. Maybe we could talk about both of these. So GameStop was a really crazy incident. I would say that's something that's going to be remembered for years to come. In fact, I think a company just got rights to make a movie about this whole incident, and that just I'm waiting for it. Right, this is something that's going to go down in history as how Reddit and the retail people like you and me took on the huge hedge funds on Wall Street and in some ways beat them. I'll give you a very brief uh, description of what happened to GameStop. Basically, GameStop is a company which just buys and sells video games and video gaming related stuff, consoles or old phones and stuff like that. So you can go if you have an old phone or if you have an old game, you can go and sell that game to GameStop, and they'll buy it from you, and then they will sell it to someone else. Right? They'll put on the display in their stores. And this was a dying business model. The management weren't that great. They weren't too interested in digitizing this, and so the stock fell to a couple of dollars, 10 5 $7. And so some people on Reddit said, hey, let's just boost this up, I think GameStop has a chance or something. And they started buying GameStop in huge amounts, and they got this huge movement. Check out Wall Street Bets subreddit on Reddit. And yeah, people made millions of dollars from just buying 1,000 stocks of GameStop at a low price. And then, but of course, like all bubbles, this also burst. If you look at the price now, it's again in double digits. I think last I checked it was 53.75 or something like that, and it hit a high of $500 per stock, but it collapsed. So there's a lot of if you want to read more, do Google it up. It's a little bit complicated. There's a lot of short squeezing and hedge funds and huge terms, but check it out. It's really interesting on how the whole thing happened.
Yeah. Plus, given the fact that people like Elon Musk and Chamat just trolled it, uh, just made it too popular.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Random question, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. If I'm being very honest, it does. I think CGPA in college, especially for placements, it does matter. There's no way around it. It's the brutal truth, right? You could be great at everything apart from CGPA, but in the end, companies will have their own cutoffs. If you don't have 8 CGPA, if you don't have 7 CGPA, if you're not from CS, if you're not from electrical, they won't let you sit in the placements. And that's not something that's in our control. That's not something we can do. Of course, we can try our best to get a good CGPA, right? So I would say yes, uh, especially during placements, CGPA does matter. And try to get a good CGPA, try to study, because you are in college to study after all, right? But I've gone the other way also. I've seen how great it is to do extracurriculars, right? Not just academics. Make friends, you meet people. I met Harish. You do stuff, you build cool projects, you get so much of real-time experience, real world experience. So do other things also, but yeah, of course, don't forget CGPA.
I guess we can talk about Wall Street Club and stuff like that, and how we can bring that learning into your course as well.
Yeah, so basically, this is the type of problem that we're trying to solve, right? Because some BITS Goa has a really great finance culture. The seniors who have helped me, they were one of the best seniors that I know in terms of financial knowledge, right? They had crazy knowledge, and they're all doing really great stuff with their life right now, be it financial startups or working in great companies. And so most of what I've learned is through them and because of them, right? And every college will have some sort of clubs and departments, and join them, join the ones that interest you the most. But there are a lot of colleges who don't have a specific finance club or a stock market trading club, right? And we have realized that. So what we're trying to do with Clinify, essentially with our courses, is that we're trying to bring that culture to you guys, right? That's what we're trying to do with our Clinify Discord server. So if you want to talk about anything, it could be philosophy, you could talk about it with people who are interested in it, and sort of becomes a club or a department where you meet people, talk about things which you guys are interested in. That was the initial goal behind starting Clinify, to be honest.
Yeah. So
And
if you're
yeah.
interested in investing, if you want to learn the philosophies, then check the pinned comment again.
Yeah, but the finance culture in BITS Goa especially is really great. I think that's the reason why I started going into stock market and finance. In other colleges, I'm not sure. I can't really talk about other colleges, but I think it'd be pretty great. BITS Hyderabad and Pilani also have similar clubs which are pretty great. But every
Yeah.
college will have something which it's known for, right? So No, don't think that. You'd never waste time of people. If you think, see, it's your duty to go out and ask questions, right? If you're not asking questions, then how will you learn? What are you gonna do, right? So I would say reach out to people, ask whatever you want, bother them. If they think that you're wasting their time, what's the worst they'll do? Not reply to you, right? And that doesn't harm you at all. You say, okay, you move on, go to the next person. So I would say don't ever shy away from asking questions. Ask as many questions as you can to people, and you'll be surprised with more people will be helpful. There's a lot of helpful people in the world, right? People just want to help and give back.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
thing. Like even for me, I try to reply to as many DMs as possible. But yeah, one thing is be direct about what you want. Like I
yeah,
receive a lot of people saying hi. Now, what do I do? What do I do with that? Like people, mails that say Instagram DMs that say hi. So do not be that person. Be as direct
yeah,
as possible. Like when we invite guests for our college festivals and events that we have, we're super direct. We tell them. Recently, we invited Snapdeal's founder, and I was like, "Hey Kunal, I'll keep it short. This is what we want. Here are the dates. Will you come?" That's it. So if you keep things very short and not beat around the bush, then people will value your time and you'll not end up wasting their time. So
yeah,
don't just
exactly,
say hi and just leave it over there.
exactly. In fact, today I got a DM on WhatsApp, and it said, "Hi, I freelance." Great, good for you. What's the question though? So, just ask straight up. You don't need to introduce too much about yourself if you think it's not relevant, right?
Yeah.
Um, how can I find a good team? Again, it's just go up, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to people that you know, right? And share your vision if you want to build something, right? So talk to your friends and say, hey, I want to build this. You also have great skills. You're also great at what you do. Do you want to join me? And if he thinks that it's what you're doing is good, then he will join you, right? So you need to reach out to your friends, you need to reach out to people. And I would say if you want to build a team, reach out to your friends first, because those are some people you trust, right? Don't go to straight up strangers if you want to build a team, or if you want to looking for a co-founder or something like that.
Yeah. And also you can join Clinify's Discord. Uh, the good part about Discord is that you have voice channels where you can
Yeah,
actually talk to people and listen to them. So that will help you build a much better relationship with people compared to just texting. So join the voice channels, talk to people, interact, try being an extrovert.
yeah.
Check out the pinned link, Sridhar.
But yeah, everything is in detail. How do you manage academics with extracurricular activities? I think. How do you prioritize? This is very important. I think this is a very important skill that you need to learn going into college, is time management and priority. Um, when we joined college in our first year, I joined I think 7 different clubs and departments, and in the very first week, 3 of those clubs had their meeting, and they were all clashing. And so I texted the coordinators and I said, hey, this timing is clashing with the other timings. And they said you need to prioritize. You need to choose which club you're more interested in and you want to join. Which club do you see a future at? And that was my first real lesson at how to organize everything, how to do what I like and not just everything at once, because that's going to get very messy. So see, a lot of us waste a lot of time, I think, right? Even me, Harish, I'm pretty sure, either be on YouTube or your phone or literally just sitting on the bed and not doing anything. If you could even take away 1/4 of the time you waste and do it for something like extracurricular activities, you're set. Most people can't even do that, right? Putting aside 30 minutes a day to read a book or to work on your product or to build a team or build your project, whatever it is, that's all you need, 30 minutes a day, right? And if you do that every day for a month, you will be so much further than what you ever thought you'll ever reach, right? So just do that.
I think in today's day and age, you can learn
Yeah, I
any
think so
skill
too.
online, unless it's something like medical where you have to operate a person. Everything can be learned online. On that note, check the pinned comment on this one. I want to go deep.
It's gonna take time. You should go one by one. That's the only I would say go one by one. Start off with the first thing. Make a list. Just sometimes just putting things down on paper just gives you so much clarity, right? Your thoughts are completely different from what you will put on paper sometimes. So just make a list. Put number one, I really want to go deep into XYZ. Number two, ABC, right? And have a list. And then start with the first one and say, I'm going to dedicate this entire month, 1 hour a day to learn this thing that I want to go deep into, right? 2 weeks later, you realize you hate it, cross it out, go to the next thing in the list. Or 1 month later, you realize you love it, then continue, right? So I would say do that.
Shreyans is from Bangalore, by the way, for people who are asking.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys see a career in engineering? Me personally, not too interested in engineering. I think it's great. Going to an engineering college, you learn a lot of different things. You develop an analytical mindset, how to work out problems, tough questions. But I personally don't really like or enjoy engineering, and I would not want to pursue. I want to do something else. I want to build something. I want to, go out there, do something which I like.
Yeah. For me, it's like a mix of engineering and some creative field. So I wouldn't say I would just go into hardcore engineering. And in engineering, though I'm doing electrical engineering, I don't have a lot of interest in electronics engineering. I mostly like building software and things like that. So yeah, it's mostly product based rather than the degree that I'm pursuing.
How to speak French? Google it, I guess.
You know French.
It was my second language in school, but
Damn.
I was not that good at it.
Say something in French.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Shreyans.
That's
The most
hello.
basic.
I'm Shreyans.
Yeah. But I want to go to France maybe someday. It'll be cool. While building my okay.
I think it's the same question as the previous one.
Okay. I've made a list about the things that you want to do. A little bit confused about what you exactly mean, but see, I would say make the list and take the top three things which you're most interested in, right? So if you're interested in, let's say, coding, stock market, or something else, just write them down and just start with the one thing. It's not task. This is not like a task. You're not trying to do. See, learning everything is never going to be a good way of something, right? Why do you want to learn everything? Instead, you should pick one thing and learn everything about that one thing instead of learning a little bit about everything. So these are not tasks, right? These are skills. So start off with one skill and go deep into it and learn that first. It's better to learn. It's better to be the master of one skill rather than average on 100 skills, right?
Yeah. And things like finance, they'll be really useful when you grow up as well. Because the earlier you start investing, in mutual funds or some, blue chip stocks, the better is the compounding effect when you retire, maybe like 40, 50 years later.
And
So
not
yeah,
only
these are all
that,
skills that everyone should know.
exactly,
Mhm.
right? How to write a check, how to get a mortgage, how to get a loan. These are not things that are taught in school or college, and it's essential. And if you get introduced to the world of finance or other things, also, I'm not just talking about finance, these skills could really help you in the future, right? You never know. In fact, I think Steve Jobs got his inspiration for his designing in a random calligraphy class that he took in college.
Yeah.
He randomly just walked into a class because he liked it. It was calligraphy class. He learned about different designs, fonts, and 5, 10 years later, he used the same thing on Apple to create that simplicity, elegance, which we all use today. So you never know what's going to help you in the future. Just don't lose out on your opportunities, right? Just try your best. What exactly are mutual funds? Okay. So let's say you are someone who has no interest in finance, no knowledge about finance, and no time to learn or to invest, right? So you can't just go researching about individual stocks and wasting your time, because let's say you already have a great job which you love, but you also want to invest in the stock market because you know it's a good place to invest your money in to avoid inflation or things like that. So there are these people who work for big banks like ICICI Bank or HDFC, Kotak Bank, and what these people do is that they say, hey, you give us here some of your money, we will collect it from different people and create a fund. What we will do with this fund is invest it in the stock market. We will put in money into different stocks, different bonds. It could be whatever they want, but we will manage your money. And these guys are professionals, qualified, CAs, they have degrees, tons of experience. So that is what a mutual fund is. Basically, you give your money to someone and they invest in the stock market for you. So in short, that's what a mutual fund is. Most mutual funds are very transparent. You can see their top holdings, which stocks they've invested in. You can see their returns over the last 5-10 years. They've given 10% returns, 15% returns, 20% returns, right? So everything is transparent. You can check it out. And I would recommend go, start with a little bit. Even you just need like 100, 500 rupees to invest in mutual funds, right? Because of these startups like Groww, Zerodha, they've completely democratized how we invest. So just open an account, ask your parents permission, open an account, and just start putting in 100, 200 rupees a month, right? Maybe don't go out for that extra time party or something like that. Save a little bit, put it in mutual funds.
Yeah, and if you have no clue about finance, I mean, if you're just getting into it, then mutual funds would be a safer bet compared to stocks.
Just looking through some of the comments to see, which one's
Yeah.
good, which one's to answer. There's a lot. People thinking, I said, where to take a loan for computer science engineering in BITS Goa. Uh,
I would say
I would say
yes.
yes, yeah. Because the thing, but also you have to remember that, if you take a loan, you come to computer science and BITS Goa, that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed job or guaranteed good CGPA. You need to put an effort yourself, right? But if you are saying that you will work hard, you will try to do the best you can, then of course, I would say do it. Should have
So
filed
this
a
is like uh,
patent.
you can file a patent if it's something revolutionary, if it's a new biological something that you found in your lab, that's great. But if you're talking about some business idea, then I don't think it'll be worth it in the early stages, to be honest. Unless it's something innovative or something crazy out of the box, I don't think it's worth it. Idea getting stolen. It doesn't matter, man. Just share your idea with as many people as possible. The person who builds it faster wins. Like Mark Zuckerberg built out Facebook much faster than his roommates. That's why he sort of won the race. So the person
See,
who
yeah,
is fast, yeah,
but this
wins.
is a genuine concern, right? This is, yes, it's true. This makes sense. Um, that's why don't share your idea with strangers, right? Or with, see, there's two different types of people you can share it with. One, you can share it with people who already have the resources or the ability to recreate what you're doing, right? If you go to Harish and tell him some idea about a YouTube channel and which he could make crores, then he would probably do it because he has a microphone ready, he has that studio, he has everything ready, right? But if you go to someone who's never touched foot or has never set foot in the YouTube, they're less likely to steal your idea and go for it, right? Also, friends are not gonna steal your idea if you straight up tell them that, hey, this is my idea, this is what I'm working on. So obviously do a little bit of due diligence before sharing your idea, but just go out there and share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, Shreyans. Want to take some last few questions? Also, people who just came in, do check the pinned comment. There's a cohort-based course by Shreyans, so if you're interested, you can check that out. Can we get into software? Someone's a profitable swing trader.
Wow, that's crazy. That's really good. I'm aiming to go into option buying. Sure. Options is very different from stocks, right? Swing trading, even that's exactly what I did. I first learned investing, then I learned swing trading, and then I ventured into options. And I realized that options are completely different because options can go up 100, 200, 300, 400% in one day, or it could obviously go down that much in one day. But whereas you don't see stocks going up that much or going down that much. So even 5,000 or 10,000 rupees in options can go to zero or can go to like 20, 30,000 in just 2 days. So in fact, just this week, Nifty went up so much, right? And the options, long call options, went up hundreds of percents. And it was just crazy. So I would say strict strategy. Don't go in blindly and say, I will see what happens and I'll exit or enter based on that. If you are a profitable string trader, you already know about risk to reward. You already know about some strategies. Make sure they're rock solid before going to options, right? If you make 70%, if you make 20% profit or whatever X% profit, exit no matter what happens. If you lose this much, exit no matter what happens, right? Because playing with their emotions is dicey.
Your name is Aditya Singh.
Good question. Okay, wait. Someone asked, does branch matter? So
Yeah.
if you are electrical or electronics, electrical or electronics and communication, or electronics and instrumentation, there is almost zero difference. It's maybe 2 or 3 course difference over 4 years of engineering, right? Harish is doing ECE, communication, electronics communication. I'm doing electrical and electronics, triple E. And up till third year, second semester, only 2 of our courses have been different and everything else has been the exact same. So it does not matter much, I would say. If you're going for CS, then maybe, yeah, of course, it's going to matter. I'm in 11th. I love trading and an active trader. I like science too. Do you suggest joining a college, engineering college such as BITS Co-op and go into financial club or join B school for financial? This is something that even I struggled with. Um, I didn't know should I take this or that, but the thing was back in 12th grade, I wasn't too sure about what I want to pursue in life. And if you are joining a top B school, see, BITS is a still reputed college, right? People know about BITS, people know about it. It's up there with like good private colleges. If you are thinking of joining another B school, which is equally as good, then definitely go for it. Uh, you know, but if you are comparing BITS Goa to a local B school or something, I say prefer BITS Goa. You may not like it. It says you like science also, right? You like science, so that's good. I mean, try to explore more. I think you're only 11th grade. You have a year, 2 years ahead of you. Explore what you like. Talk to some seniors of some colleges who you might be joining. Ask them how are the faculty, how are the clubs, what do they teach, and if it matches what you like in science or in finance, then check that out.
Yeah, but if you're not very sure about the finance part, I would say go to an engineering college and then do a B school thing.
Exactly, because engineering is so versatile, right? Like you can do anything after getting an engineering degree, but you can't do anything after going to a B school. I mean, some people are, there exceptions everywhere, right? If you are driven, passionate, you can do anything you want. But for the most part, it gets a little tricky.
Cool. So should we wrap this up?
Yeah, sure. Sure, I think
Cool,
it's been
guys.
great.
Thanks a lot for joining in. We'll be doing these live streams often, so keep your questions for later. And do check out Shreyans's course. Link is there in the pinned comment. And we'll probably see you in the course. Thanks for joining in and take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Have a great night.
Yeah. See you guys.